She drives down the freeway. She drives west to the ocean. On the other side, the tide comes up. He backs away. He is afraid of drowning. He has never learned to swim. She can feel him moving further and further away. She drives faster. The distance increases. The wind blows across the Pacific. It slaps her in the face, flattens her, leaves a hole in her heart. She closes the window, turns up the music. She drives to the end of the land, stands on the top of the Palisade. Between them is a chasm, 20 years across, 11 years deep. For him, it is the turn of a phrase. For her, it is a single step. She was seduced by the pleasure of his text. He is imprisoned in it, unable to cross the bridge to the place where it is lived out. He is the disembodied voice. She is the vocal body. A plane crosses the sky. She calculates the difference in time. He remembers her from afar. She was wearing pale gray. In the photograph, her skin is pale, and she is dressed in black velvet. He drinks a bottle of wine and turns out the light. They lie in the dark and sing old rock and roll songs from the year they met. He wraps the surface of his life around him like a goose-down comforter. He is a master of substitutions. She watches the sun slide into the sea, into another dawn, another day. She watches him walk down the street in his black jacket. She is standing at the window naked. The sky is gray and overcast. She is naked at the window in the morning light. He doesn't look back. She doesn't know why she loves him. The surf crashes into the shore. Words with wings beat against her ears. She is picking up signals, telepathic transmissions. The telephone rings in the middle of the night. His voice enters her, inhabits her, caresses her. It throbs and pulses in her. In the photograph, he is smiling. They look happy. A plane circles above, prepares to land. She takes his hands. His palms are sweating. She promises him they aren't going to crash. He tells her he loves her, and this is just the first step. She knows better. She's been here before. Between them is an ocean, a culture, a point of view. She likes living on the edge. He is afraid of heights. She sees him standing in the window with a map of his life on his face. He closes the curtains. She wonders if she will ever see him again. Your eyes holding me like a steel
He thought he saw
magnet.
her there, but no, she won't
I
be
waited
there.
for you
Never was.
again and again.
She was an assemblage,
and you never came.
A combination of time
you made
and elements that could
appointments
make
you
up a
never
character.
kept.
A story,
You beckoned to me,
a plot,
and I came.
leading to another place,
and at each meeting,
another time,
a detour,
another memory.
a barricade across the road. We were never alone. This is what I remember.
He leaves her there as a
I left
landmark
messages
to guide
on your
her back
answering
and
machine.
forth across the road
You played them
tempting
over
again.
and over.
She knows it and waits.
My voice,
waits for him
every
as he
pause
makes it
and
up as he
quiver,
goes along.
ran on in your head
The point is clear,
like an
and
endless
the path
tape
is not.
that could not be
I
erased.
exist for you.
You called,
exist for me.
but you could not
I write
find
this
me.
down for you. You choose
You
to
thought
ignore
about me
or
in the
exclaim.
shower.
I
This
could
is
do
what
the
you
same.
told me.
It's the agreement aggressively
As if
held
it could
to.
be different. As if it could be washed away.
If I drove to the end of the earth and
Our
demanded you to
conversations
follow,
were like
what would
little
we do?
dances. Our
And when we got
conversations
there,
were like fencing
I keep
matches,
talking about it in the opening
calculated
slips by
displays of
avoiding
bravado,
more.
taunting
Are
jabs,
we repeating the
defensive
same line, set on the
sidesteps.
same road
Each
in another
move a
car by another
provocation.
set of actors?
I pushed you to the
Are we
edge.
repeating the same
I
gestures
dared you
on
to
another
take the next
stage
step.
at another time?
You withdrew, sought shelter in empty justifications. This is what I remember.
You say you remember distinctly the time that
You waited
met
for me in a room with
and
glass
hope it happens
doors.
again.
You made
You make your
declarations you would not
entrances,
have to
exits
act
clear,
on.
then clouded with meaning.
It was already too
I wait
late.
for you at the door.
You pressed your face against my neck. I was dizzy from the heat,
I
caught
wait for
between
you
desire
at the
and
door.
guilt, conceit and
I
cowardice.
lie on the floor
You let
and
me
listen
go.
to your feet walking.
I left
and
you with my
hesitate.
lipstick on your mouth
I cannot
and
hear
your
the
silver
breath.
tongue dripping
I
words
cannot
in my
feel our
ear.
skin together in this bed.
Later, I sent them back
I
on the
see
end
no
of a dagger.
I see no
You left
one
me
in this
stranded on the
house.
edge of a cliff with my heart pounding.
I see no
I
one.
wanted you to know what it felt like. I slit open your facade, exposed you and made you bleed. You answered me with a silence as deadly and as empty as your words had been. This is what I remember.
Between the thought and the act of the body, the surface of the skin, the edge of the continent, the face of the land, your body, my body, the moving body, the body that touches, the body that feels, the body that reaches out and pushes away, the heart that beats, the love that pulses, the vein, the hand that caresses, the finger that pulls, the trigger, the mouth that kisses, the tongue that wounds, the legs that part, the feet that walk away, the hand that caresses, the finger that pulls, the trigger, the mouth, the tongue that parts, the legs that part,
My
your body, my body, my body, your body, the moving body, the body that touches, the body that feels, the body that pulls, the part of the body that reaches out and pushes away, and the heart that beats, the love that pulses, the veins between the thought, between your legs is the active, the body is the tongue that wounds, the legs that part, the feet that walk away, the finger that pulls, the trigger, the hand that caresses, the hand that beats, the love pulsing, the veins pulsing, the veins pulsing, the veins, your body, my body, the body that touches,
Finger that pulls the trigger,
the body that reaches out,
the mouth
pushes
that
away,
kisses,
pushes away, pushes away.
the tongue that wounds, the legs that part, the feet that walk away. It was left undone, an unfinished sentence. It was never laid to rest, just put aside. What was never said, what was never lived out. Your side of the story, my side of the story. You wake me up in the middle of the night and bring it up to date, and I forgive you what I remember and what you forget. And we begin again, picking up the sentence where it was left off. This is the long distance. I construct you in the present, like an archaeologist assembling fragments, artifacts. This is the telepathic. I take you at your word. I take you at face value. The face in the photograph of the land is no longer the face I remember, but the face I discover. And in it I see an opening that wasn't there before. This I do not yet know. It is a face you no longer have. You wake me in the night, and I feel your closeness, though you are still far away. I feel I know you, I feel I love you, and all the barriers collapse, and we are moving towards each other, across an ocean, across days and nights and years. We are moving towards each other, into each other's arms, and I imagine holding you and touching you, the heat and weight, smell and taste of you. I imagine the feel of your mouth and hands on my skin, and I can feel you moving inside me until all the boundaries that separate us dissolve into liquid fire. I am not afraid, and you are not alone.
I look back at the hand and think maybe the mind, maybe the body, maybe the motion behind it all.
That would be it.
Yes, that would be a way for falling out and falling forward and falling. Yes, falling. I look at the face and think, yes, it's there, it's there. Perhaps a character, another voice, when these things sound better, these things sound clearer. Less model, less confusion, more time on the hard parts. I reach out my hand, I reach for the receiver, the speaker, the shaker, the shaking floor. I reached out for you, but
you were not inside.
You were outside and I was in between.
Yes,
in between a rock and a rock and shaking. I wasn't shaking. And I wasn't shaking.
You had no further need of me.
You had not one thing to say. I look out at the city from the top of the hill, and I in the car, and you not. Here sitting and looking out, but seeing in this car, this hill, way back when. You, when, me, when us, when us, when you, when you, when me, when we were young, the memory of events, you here and me here. Memory. I think I know you. I think I will. I've made you up out of pictures and I've taken a voice through a while.
I think I've made.
I made you from what I needed and wanted.
What I needed.
What I wrote became the voice speaking.
What I
drew became the body moving.
What I drew.
I put you on.
What I drew became.
I put you on a screen.
I
run my hand through your hair. Take a picture and write down your
hand
words.
through you.
I run my hand through you. That is that. I set in motion. Staying here, staying still for me to contemplate became your role. Now I rest. Resting my head on your shoulder, it rests on my arm, it rests to your side. And now we are moving towards each other. I have you in mind, I have you in hand. I feel your heart, I see your face. I stumble forward and there you are. I made an image of you that we have no place in. I will remember what will never be done, or said, or felt.
You reach out to me, and you reel me in. You lead me down a path, guide me to you. You wake me in the night and embrace me with your voice. You call out to me, and I answer. You undress me slowly, and I say, yes. You open my heart, and I say, yes. You tell me you love me, and I say, yes. You ask me to love you, and I say, yes. You say you want me, and I say, yes.
Between the thought and the act is the body, the surface of the skin, the edge of the continent, the face of the land.
Your body,
my body, the moving
your body, my body, the moving body, the body that pushes away, the body that pushes away, the body that pushes away, the hand on the trigger, the finger, the mouth that kisses, the hand, the tongue, the bolt, the door, the knife, the knife, the sound of the voice, the knife and the heart, the tongue,
the heart that beats, the love that pulses in the veins, pulses in the veins, the finger that pulls the trigger, the mouth that kisses, the tongue that
walk away.
Listen, I made you. I rolled the string, I dangle you by.
I made you.
I carved up our hands, you cut at the air with.
I made you.
But I told you not to touch. I told you not to touch. I made the ears you pressed to the wall, but I told you not to listen.
I told you.
I formed these eyes you set on the floor and roll up the door following someone, anyone, but I told you not to look. I brought those shiny teeth to a smile and told you where to point it.
I told you
to take it. I made those pretty little hands and held them and kissed them and guided them over my body and yours and said, not now, but later, not later, but now. I flexed those feet and set them on the floor and pointed the way and held them to the ground. Told you to watch out. I told you to watch out. I held your hand and grabbed at your feet and told you not to fall. I brought you to the floor. I hailed you there as you fell. I held your hand and I threw out your history and tore up your lease on life. Yes. I told you I loved you when I took you away. I told you I loved you when you fell to the ground.
But you never came
I told
close.
you I loved you as
You
you
never
got
came
further and
close.
further. I
You
told you I
fell back
loved you
into
with the
yourself and
needles in your
slammed the
arms.
shutters.
I told you I loved you
You
with
fell
the
back
hole in
in
your
yourself
chest.
and bolted
I
the
told you I
door.
loved you
You
when
fell
I
back in
buried
yourself
myself in
and
you.
filled the room with
I
other
told you I
people.
loved you when they buried you. You said, don't stop.
Don't stop.
Stop now. Don't stop. Don't stop
Don't
now.
stop.
No, not
Don't
for anything.
stop.
We're doing it together.
We're
We're
doing
all
it
in this
together.
together. It's just you and me. We're doing it together.
Don't stop.
It's the
Don't
same
stop.
thing. The same thing. Don't
Don't
stop.
stop.
Don't stop. One,
We're
two,
doing it
three. Here
together.
we
Don't
go.
stop.
All together now. Don't
Don't
stop.
stop.
This is just the beginning. We're all in this together. Don't rush the
This is
ending.
just
Don't
the
stop
beginning.
now.
Don't
This is
stop.
just the beginning. We're all in this together. Don't rush the ending. Don't rush the ending. Don't stop now.
Don't
This is
stop.
just the beginning.
He is walking down the road. He is alone now. It is dark. The time is near now. He is afraid. He has imagined this moment, planned it, gone over it again and again in his mind. He has constructed it and reconstructed it, lived it and relived it again and again. He has waited for this moment all his life. He approaches the wall. He knows
I am waiting
she will
for
be
you.
there, waiting for him.
I am
he is
waiting
almost there.
On the other side, on the other side of the wall, you can do it. You can make it over.
She is holding.
You can
A
pull
flashlight.
yourself up
She is smiling.
over the edge.
He hears the siren.
Don't be
They are
afraid.
screaming in his
I am
ears.
here.
The light
I am
is
waiting
blinding.
for you.
Her lips
You can
are
make it.
moving. She is
You can make it
shouting.
over.
He cannot hear her.
You are almost
Her
there.
hands reach
At the
towards
top.
him. Fingers
You can
are
do it.
stretched,
Jump.
straining. He crouches on the top
Jump
of the
now.
wall. His
Jump into
heart
my arms.
is pounding.
Jump.
His
Jump.
feet feel
Before
heavy.
it's too late.
He stares
Now.
down at her
Jump.
open arms. He
Jump.
is overcome with
Jump
terror.
into my arms. Jump. 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 Jump now. Before it's too late. Jump. Jump. Jump.
He falls back. He is falling, falling, falling away, falling back into the darkness. He has been running a long time. His body is drenched in sweat. The muscles of his legs and back ache. There is a pain in his chest. He hears the sound of someone crying. He reaches for her in the dark. There is no one there. The room is empty. He is alone.
Your future is behind you, on the other side of the barricade. On the other side of the barricade, you are imprisoned, alone in your cell, with your fear and loneliness, your longing and your regrets. On the other side of the barricade is yet another barricade. On the other side of the barricade are the sentries that defend it. On the other side of the barricade, I am trapped in your dreams. On the other side of the barricade, you are killing me slowly. On the other side of the barricade, you are already dead.
He dies in the middle of the forest with dreams of his father in his head. The songs he heard at the age of 6 echo and mix in his mind and pump giddily through his limbs. What he will hear in the future is what he heard in the past.
I
You are
search
aware
for
of
you,
something you know
but
won't
you are
last,
nowhere
but now
to
you
be
want
found.
more. He has a story he makes up as he goes.
The sound
I made this
of your
for you.
words
It was something I
echo
thought we
through
could
my
share and
nights
create ourselves
and
in.
days
I thought it
and
should be the beginning
dreams.
and not the end. I
Who's
don't
the
know.
man that
And think
spoke
that it
in
will
that
live forever
voice?
in our eyes and locked in the heart.
What
Did we
happened
learn
to
from
him?
this? Did we make it bigger than ourselves?
Where is
Are
he
we
now?
immortal? Are we permanent? Remembered
ever
by great
exist?
things? I build you in this house, just as you are.
Or did you invent him as a
I remember
substitute?
you as I build and shed your presence
Someone
with
you
my
would like
glass.
to be?
I stand at the cliff and see
Someone
everything
you
you're
put on
shipping.
like a
See
suit
what
of
I've done.
clothes?
See what I've made. This is my memory, and this is
He
what
is
I
a
make
part
it.
of you.
Is this what we have
Even
to
if you
paste
made
in the
him up.
scrapbook and plaster the walls? I think of
I
your
saw
eyes and
him
the
in
way they
you.
fit in your head. I think of your
But when I
habit of
was with
ignoring
you,
and forgetting, and
he
now
was
I ignore and
crippled
forget
and
them.
afraid,
They are gone.
and he hid
It
in
is
the dark.
past and waves weakly at us from the distance.
Is he
I am
still
willing
alive?
now. Willing to pass
Buried
smoothly
inside
on
you?
to the next step, the next shot,
Bound
the next
and
shout, late
gagged?
night in an empty room. This room. Down to the smallest detail.
Or have you killed him off?
Reflecting
altogether?
on the arrival, the light of another day,
And with him,
face.
me?
I will back up and watch it grow and streak, decaying light on an aging surface. Our skin fades against the wall. We disappear into them.
He is walking down the street. He is running after her. He is shouting. She is not listening. He wants to begin again, to start over on a clean page. His life is more than half over. Hers is just beginning again, she says. He introduces himself to her as if they have just met for the first time. She does not answer. She crosses the street. They've already made this movie. She knows what the ending is. He says it will be different this time. His words are transparent. She looks right through them. He keeps talking. She quickens her pace. He grabs her arm. She is laughing. She is crying. She keeps walking. She doesn't look back. A plane crosses the sky. The land begins to slip beneath his feet. It shifts and cracks and breaks apart. Pieces of his life fall past him. Her words pound against his ears, burn his eyes. He remembers her standing on the beach, holding a shell in her hand. The plane begins to descend. He thinks about his father. He thinks about his son. A dark, molten mass presses against his ribs, forces the air out of his lungs. He wonders where she is at that moment. The plane is falling faster, faster. He is falling, falling, falling. She is driving down the freeway. She drives faster. She is thinking about all the men she'd ever loved, or made love with, or to, or by. There is a difference, you know. She thinks about them in order, starting at the top, working her way down. He comes to mind. He comes into frame. She wonders what he is doing at that moment, and if he ever thinks about her, and what it is that he remembers.